Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video I am drawing up some bullet journal icons. You may have seen these somewhere like on Instagram or Pinterest, but I kind of want to go through the details of what they are and how you would use them in case you've seen them and you're just like, they're cool, but for what? So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that this video is fairly short. The total length of it is about 6.5 minutes, and the only thing I cut off out of this was like the very beginning when I was setting up my iPad with a podcast on it because I forgot to do it before I started filming. And then I think that's it. I don't even think I cut off the end. So the total length of the video is 6.5 minutes and it's completely in real time. And I left it that way. One, because it would have been super short if I would have sped it up, and two, because I want to show you just how fast it is to put these together because it is part of what makes them what they are. Icons are not necessarily doodles, they're not really drawings, they're way less than a drawing and a little less than a doodle because you're not going to put as much effort into making the fine details. They represent something that you would otherwise write in words, but maybe it makes it more of a visual thing for you. I use icons from time to time to signify importance of a task. So if I have a task that I rank as a high priority, I will use an icon because in a list of 12 items that are all just words and little boxes, check boxes, seeing an icon stands out immediately, and then it makes me realize, oh, that was something that I really wanted to do today. So each of these is very simple. They're very simple line work here. A lot of them are going to be very basic shapes. In the top row, you see that most of them are just very simple rectangles with a little bit of line work. So like for mail, you might use that if you need to send mail off. Maybe you've had some mail sitting on your counter that you need to drop in the mailbox. And then email is exactly the same, but instead I just add a little E to it. And you can change these. You can make them whatever works for you. And you could put an icon key in your bullet journal for icons that you'll use, because chances are all of these icons in this video you aren't going to use. They aren't going to all work for you, or you won't need to use them all. But you may find a couple that you're like, oh, I'm going to use that regularly and it will help me to better prioritize my daily task list. So for instance, it is the new year, so a lot of us have some pretty big goals this time of year, and if you are anything like me, you spent the end of 2018 not doing a whole lot to reach your goals. You were relaxing and just enjoying the moment and enjoying the food and not doing a whole lot, right? So it's kind of hard to jump back into those goals. So maybe one of your goals is to work out more often. So even if you have a bullet journal and say on Monday you add to your task list, work out for 30 minutes. If it's part of a list of 12 other items that include laundry and running to the store and vacuuming and taking the dog for a walk and those kind of things, it's going to kind of get lost in there and it's not as high of a priority because they're all set at the same priority level when they're all just in a list. So you could add a small little icon to symbolize that, hey, this is something I really need to do today. And for most of us, those little tiny visual cues are enough to make whatever it is stand out. And so that's why icons are important, because they are interchangeable with text, whatever icon you choose, and maybe you'll make your own. Maybe you'll look at mine and go, that makes no sense to me, but here's one that does. So they're interchangeable with text and with things that would normally be on your task list, and you could maybe still write it on your task list if you want to double it, but they're supposed to be just as quick to make as if you were going to write it out in a sentence. So instead of writing work out for 30 minutes today, you could just draw a little dumbbell or whatever it is that suits your needs. So again, the big part of all these is that they're very simple. There are 20 in total on this page, and it took me 6 minutes. I'm not a mathematician. I'm much better at English. My husband is a mathematician, but I'm sure that breaks down to a pretty low amount of time for each of these icons, and you could simplify them further. Also, I made these pretty big because I did want them visible on camera. So you could definitely shrink these down to fit on the left-hand side of your task list, much the same as a small checkbox would fit. And that would also be something to consider with like pen size. So in this, I'm using a small Faber-Castell, and I don't know what the actual tip dimension on that is, but if you were going to draw one of these icons in like your checkbox area, you might want to use a very, very fine point pen like a 0.05 or a 1. So I hope that this helps you guys. If it does, create your own page like this, almost like a key or like a dictionary of bullet journal icons that you can reference and use in your journal, and start trying to use them and see how those visual cues motivate you to do things that otherwise would have maybe got forgotten in your list. Thank you guys so much for watching my short, quick video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.